Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's August 31st, 2016. In the mainstream media, there's a food scare story today. A national outbreak of hepatitis A in strawberries documented in 6 states from East Coast to West Coast. What I'm going to talk about in this video is how this is purposeful propaganda, a made up story to scare people. And the reason this is done is best explained in the video I made about the movie Monsters Inc. If you've never seen the children's film Monsters Inc., which came out right after September 11th, 2001, it's about a group of monsters who consume fear. They need to create fear energy within people, which they consume that energy from. And what the monsters specialize in doing is scaring young children. That's where they can harness the most of this fear energy. And the movie really is a retelling of what's being done in this world. The powers that be who rule over us, they need us to be fearful, frightened, intimidated, looking for someone to keep them safe, such as big government, big industry, big pharmaceutical. What people don't realize in the mainstream, who are the victims of this news and who look to these giant entities to be saved, what they don't realize is it's those same big entities scaring them so that the people will go to those entities and consume from them. Pay them taxes, pay them money for their drugs, pay them money for whatever they're selling as the cure, the solution. And this system has been built around us. This is a system that's been in place for more than a century, and it operates every day as I'm about to show you. So with that introduction aside, let's now get to how we can scientifically prove that this story is propaganda. Strawberries linked to hepatitis A outbreak in 6 states. The opening paragraph. An outbreak of hepatitis A caused by imported frozen strawberries from Egypt has sickened 55 people in 6 states, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said Wednesday. That's today, August 31st. Health authorities confirmed 44 total infections in Virginia, where the outbreak first appeared, and additional infections in Maryland, West Virginia, North Carolina, Oregon, and Wisconsin. Wisconsin, one of the only states with gematria of 44. We'll be talking about the significance of this number 44. But let's begin with right here. If you go further into this article, it talks about how the first warning about this outbreak came out of Virginia on August 5th. So check this out. On August 5th, the Virginia Department of Health contacted us about a potential link between hepatitis A cases and frozen strawberries from Egypt. Mike Rotondo, CEO of Tropical Smoothie Cafe, said in a video posted August 21st on YouTube. He added that the company immediately removed the imported strawberries from its cafes and purchased new strawberries from alternate sources. So, August 5th, that's the day the Summer Olympics began this year. That date in most parts of the world is written 5/8. 5/8, a lot like 58. Strawberries in gematria sums to 58. So does Freemasonry. So does Secret Society. United States has gematria of 58. Even the name Mike Rotondo, the person breaking the news about August 5th, sums to 58. This is the gang that controls our media. Their concepts are order through chaos and divide and conquer. And even a story like this, it's minor chaos, maybe the strawberry supply is not safe. And think about the people consuming this media, people who have been eating strawberries all summer while in season through the supermarkets. And, this media, it targets people like my own mother, which there's many of in this nation. My mother's someone who, when she sees these negative stories, her mind obsesses about it all day. And my mom's also someone who starts, she'll go into the argument about how, we need to do better with our government so they'll keep our food safe. She doesn't quite get the whole concept of just how much the government's manipulating us to keep their structure in place. So for those of you who say we need better government, that's not what we need. Well, we do. But government always ends up a certain way, more about control than care for the people. What we need in this society is common sense People who are aware, people who are invested more in their own food, more local food. These aren't things that we want our government to do. These are things we need to do ourselves. We need to recognize what's wrong with the system we're in and fix that system. Bringing back local agriculture, that's very possible. That could put a lot of people to work who are out of work. That could do a lot of good for health and community. Anyway, we're talking about the scientific proof, though, of how we can see this story is contrived propaganda. Strawberries 58, August 5th, Freemasonry 58, Secret Society, United States. This is propaganda for a nation. They're saying the strawberries range from East Coast to West Coast in contamination. CNN on the TV saying it could be a lot more states. That date, August 5th, 2016, was also a date with 49 numerology. I talked about how the name of the Olympic Stadium this year in Rio, Gematria 49, opening ceremonies on that date. 49, number of Revelation, the book of prophecy. The Freemasons who code their propaganda, they love to use the book of prophecy, and the only way I can explain it, trying to look into the minds of the madmen who do this to us, is, they see themselves fulfilling their own pre-planned prophecy, which has everything to do with control and, the foods we eat, the chemicals that are in our body. That's why we live in a nation where they tell children, they program them with sugar, fat, addictive foods that are toxic to their health, and at the same time program them to never smoke marijuana. Never smoke marijuana. Meanwhile, all these things that they are programming them to eat are way more toxic than marijuana. And for anyone who doubts that, marijuana is a real medicine. If you want to deny that at this day and age, you're missing out. There's a lot of people who've treated all sorts of ailments that they couldn't get any cures from in Western medicine with marijuana. It's not just smoking it, it's making creams, applying it to, a carpenter who worked on my house. The whole time I knew him, he had this big growth on his nose that he's never been able to get rid of. He started putting some marijuana cream on there. In a few months' time, it got rid of it. We are we are beings from this planet. Marijuana comes from this planet. Most real remedies in this world are herbs, things from the earth. In this mad world we live in, they've trained us to believe, more in the man-made stuff, the pharmaceuticals, the stuff from the earth. That's icky, scary, old-fashioned. As if health and wellness and well-being something, that would have to be new and current. Part of our programming. We're just so into the new, the technology, not looking at the age-old remedies that have always been with us. So anyway, let's now get to the 44 part. 44 total infections in Virginia. Hepatitis in Gematria sums to 44. I recently did a radio show with Crow 777, second radio show I've done with him in the last few months. In both shows we talked about the same thing, about 44 in regards to Western medicine. It's the kill number, the word kill equals 44. So many treatments, so many diseases and illness have 44 gematria, and it's not by coincidence. Western medicine is about maintaining treatable illness. They want us to get the so many viruses and diseases that we suffer from. They want us to have those things because they have all these cures that make big bucks for big pharmaceutical companies for treating the symptoms. So anyway, hepatitis 44, medicine 44, a big one in this nation, cancer's 44, chemo's 44, kill 44. You go to your dairy store when they do the breast cancer awareness and you see that the dairy company has the pink ribbons on their products. When anyone who takes the time to research, and this stuff's not just speculation or hearsay, when you take the time to research disease and illness and what's been discovered in this world, there's some unanimous research that concludes dairy products are the most cancer-causing in human beings. And yes, for breast cancer. Yet in these supermarkets that we have raising money for cancer, for breast cancer, on the dairy products which give the breast cancer, which has been understood for a century. It's all part of a sick joke. They want people to get cancer so they can treat them with all their investment in the chemotherapy. It's all a system. Words such as disease and virus have gematria 44. It's interesting that disease and virus also have gematria of 26, very special number, the God number. And I'm telling you, the Freemasons, who, if you don't know what Freemasonry is, This nation was established by a gang of Freemasons who came over from Europe, who before that came over from the other empires of the world. Freemasonry is a network that's been in place for thousands of years. They pride themselves on being the invisible architects of society, the keepers of knowledge. They are playing God over our lives, and they tell us this in many different subtle ways. If you've never seen my work on the movie Truman Show, check that out. And then watch that film. That film, We Are All Truly Truman Burbank. Today, the date of this news, it also has 55 numerology in this reporting. They also have a 55 people in 6 states, 44 total infections in Virginia. Notice they're both multiples of 11. The powers that be, they love their numerology. 11, the master number in numerology. So, that's pretty much it for this one today. I have a number of videos like this. I just want to reinforce the point when they put these stories before our eyes. Every time you see one of these stories, you can apply the gematria knowledge in the description. I'll link the how to gematria. You apply this knowledge to these stories you read in mainstream media, and you'll see it's the same thing time and time again. The numbers reported correspond with the illness. It's like clockwork with these people. By the numbers. All right, until next time, Truth Seeker.